So when folks are out in the woods in a survival situation, or even if you're just out practicing your bushcraft skills, your survival skills and stuff, everyone gets caught up in the sexiness of building traps and doing all this crazy stuff to gather food. That's a lot of calories, it's a lot of effort, it's also a lot of frustration. If you're setting traps for your food, you're going to walk up on a lot of empty traps, and that's demoralizing to you, especially when you're super hungry. But there's a lot of stuff in the woods you can eat that all you got to do is bend over and pick up. Like acorns, like this one, right here. This guy. These are easy, simple calories. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh my God, you can't eat those things. Well, there actually is a way. There's several ways you can eat these things. And we'll show you later how we're going to do these tonight. We are not going to soak these. We are not going to boil these. We're going to use what Jason Patrick just told me about, which I'd never heard of, is the old original Cherokee method of eating acorns, which is we are going to parch these in a fire. That one's no good. And they will be edible. They won't have that tannic pucker factor, you know, you can't swallow them. So we're going to keep collecting acorns, anything else we can find. We're looking for easy, simple calories. Plants, nuts, there's hickory trees out here too. Grubs, if we find them, guys, you'll get to see them, because we didn't bring food. Some of us didn't have breakfast this morning. Some of us did. But we're out here for 2 days, so you know we're burning loads of calories. People that say you can go 3 months without eating, yeah, if you're sitting still, not doing much, doing very little physical activity, you can get away with that. If you're out here walking up and down these hills, collecting firewood, building a shelter, doing all the things that survival requires, you need calories. And if you've watched any of the survival shows, it's pretty obvious you need calories and how important they are. Simple, easy to get food that you don't have to chase down, don't have to hunt, and don't have to expend a whole lot of energy to get is the way to go.
All right, boys, chow time. We got some of this oxalis here. Tastes kind of like a lemon.
Yep.
You've had it before, hadn't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is just a good hand-to-mouth food. You can feast on this. Put a little something in the stomach. Get that vitamin C. You know, by our modern standards, people think in terms of like starchy, everything's been sweetened to death, but you'd be surprised how satisfying just a few handfuls of something like that can be.
And the texture of like baby greens.
Yeah, and since it's right out of the earth, man, it's got all the nutrients that you're craving that we don't get, you know. Another plant we've got here is this Prunella Vulgaris, or hill all, self-heal. The leaves on that are edible and also medicinal. This plant here is like good for antiviral properties and boost up your immune system. You can see the stem on it's kind of square like in a mint.
So I love the woods in the Appalachian area. You know, again, being born and raised in Florida, we have pine scrub, palmetto thickets. You know, up here you can walk through the woods. And up here the woods have a lot to offer you that require less energy to get to. Like, I'm knelt down right here, there's blueberry bushes all around me. This is all blueberry. If we were here early in the year, we could have had blueberries to eat. They'd be all over the place. But right here also is sassafras. So we can make a tea out of this. You can even use the twigs to like brush your teeth. Break them off, you can scrape your teeth with them, you can chew on them to get that little bit of taste. Some people can have issues with sassafras, so you need to be careful and test your tolerance before you really kind of get into it. But that's just kneeling here, 2 plants. And then, you know, even right over here, kind of hard to see, is a Greenbrier, which is another edible. You can eat this one as well, and it's growing all through here. These woods are pretty heavily traveled by deer, we've noticed. There's a lot of deer sign, a lot of deer scat. And so they're nibbling off, like this one here. This Greenbrier right here, the growing tip, you can see right here, has been just clean nibbled off. as well as the young leaves. So the deer, this is their browse. As they're moving through these woods, this is one of their preferred browse to eat on, and there's a lot of it up here. So this is a really nice, it's a rich environment right here. It's really cool. And we also have, and I hope he moved out of the neighborhood, a skunk, because we can smell that polecat. But you're in the woods. It's what you're going to deal with. So, but we'll show you guys some more stuff when we come across it. There's all kinds of cool plants up here.
Yep, we walked into a good area here. We've got plantain, we've got strawberry leaves, which the strawberries have already come and gone, but they're still edible. You can use them in teas. We've even got these seed heads here that this stuff here we could add to soups and stews, but since we're not in cooking mode right now, I'm just going to strip them off and just eat them like I would, you know, a dry cereal.
Yep.
So that red clover right there, those heads, they taste like a raw green bean. So there are not many of them, but we'll snack as we go. That's good. It's got a good fresh flavor to it. So I'm just going to have a few of those. We're just grazing, you know, this is what the animals do. Go out and put a little something in their stomach, we'll hydrate.
So this plant here is called a sweet birch. And if you had smell-o-vision, I'd let you try it, but you don't. It smells fantastic. What I like to do with this one, if you've been a day or two without brushing your teeth, is you can kind of use it as a toothpick, and it's kind of got maybe like a mentholy kind of flavor to it, and it does kind of freshen your breath up a little bit.
And, you know, we were talking about plants. We mentioned sassafras earlier, and this is a kind of an easy plant to recognize. You know, the leaves, obviously, they look kind of like a baseball mitt. You know, sometimes you'll see them with just one lobe coming off of a leaf, and they look like a catcher's mitt. But this three-lobed plant is pretty easy indication of sassafras. The tea is made generally from the roots, and so is the sassafras drinks. That's how they're made, is from the roots. But they have a great aroma. They're very aromatic, and they're nice, like I said earlier, to chew on, even to throw into your bedding too when you're doing the bedding for your shelter, just to add the aromatic in there. And a lot of insects don't care for aromatic plants, so it's something to consider when you're doing bedding. It's a way to keep the creepy crawlies out of it. So, but that's another little shot of sassafras we want to show you, because this is a nice example of it. Even though it's a little chewed up by something, it's still a good example.
So we've got an apple tree here that was probably planted at least half a century ago, and it's been seriously deprived of any pruning attention. So it's just gone kind of wild. The apples are small on it, but they're still really good, and we're not the only ones that like apples. You can see here, there's been a black bear in the area that's really dug into this tree, climbed up in it, shook it a little bit, dropped him some apples off, and had himself a meal. All the bear scat that you find around this area, you'll find the peelings and seeds of apples in it. It's pretty cool thing to see. So we're gonna eat some apples as well. There you go.
These are good. But you know, even just a handful of those greens after we ate many handfuls of that, I was satisfied, but this is just even better.
Well, grab a green here and there, bite an apple. It's fantastic.
What we're gathering here is horse mint. It puts off a really strong odor when you crush the leaves. And I had some old timers tell me if you'll put this around your bedding area, it'll help keep the bugs off and also deters snakes from wanting to come up and cuddle with you to get warm. So
we found another trail side nibble. This is called sourwood. And the young leaves taste like, kind of like a sour apple and a lemon mixed together. Give or take. But pretty good. Pretty good.
Seed heads from plantain. Very good. Nutty flavor. Lots of fiber. Keep you regular. Never pass them up. But don't take them all though, because you want the plant to propagate. Yeah, we basically reverted to a herd of deer. We're doing exactly what they were doing just an hour ago in the same place.
So while we're foraging for our tools here, we can also find some medicine. This is called yellow root, and it's very obvious why it's called yellow root, because it's got that crazy yellow color in it, which is really cool. But this is good for stomach troubles. If you've got an upset stomach, whatever your ailments might be from eating too many apples, you can chew on this, and it will, or you can make some teas out of it. That'd be fine if you had a container, which we don't. But you can chew on it, and it tastes, I mean, it's bad, like absolutely awful tasting. But if you've got stomach troubles, there's nothing really worse than that than being out in the woods, and this could fix you up.
All right, so we've got some white oak acorns here, picked up a while ago. A couple of these we're probably going to wind up discarding, like this one with the big crack in it. I'm not sure that that one's going to be too good. We're just going to take these though, the good ones that we do have, lay them over here right next to these coals. We're going to start roasting, wait for the shells to crack open on them. And then we're just going to peel them back and pull the tannin off of them. Have at them. We're going to let them cool off a little bit, and crack the shells on them and pull that inner lining off of them. So we just peeled the shell off because it's split already. Pull off this inner tannin layer, the inner shell. See how it's coming off? And good to go. Good stuff.
So even if the skin doesn't slip, it's still so loose now. You see it just peels off like paper. But this is the part that has most of the tannin nasty taste right here. And just peel it off like paper. Yeah. They're not like crunchy like a hard crunch stuff. It's nice, yeah. It's good. Yeah. They're real good. I've always soaked them. This roasting thing's new to me and it's awesome. That's good.
Tastes kind of like a boiled peanut, but more earthy. So I'm trying out the Wapato. I've never eaten it before. I've known the plant for a while, but never actually tried it out. Tastes kind of like potato. It's got a little bit of a... What is it? A little bit of a... kind of a soury kind of flavor to it, but the texture is exactly like a potato. I don't know if you can see. I mean, it looks like a potato. And that's after I skinned it off, roasted it by the fire. It could probably go a little bit longer by the fire and get a little softer. Still kind of crunchy in the middle, like a potato, but edible and tastes good.